What's happening, everybody? It's Jeff and Justin here, the Frustrated Rockstars, back again live on MP4 with some talk and roll.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. We are at the Atlanta Brewing Company in Atlanta, Georgia, home of Red Brick Beer, some great stuff.
There might not be any beer left when we leave.
And we thank them for having us here. Tonight, our headliner is going to be debuts that cannot be topped.
D-Butts?
D-Butts.
D-Butts, they can't be topped.
Cannot be topped. You know, the people that had the biggest album, and then it was so big they couldn't repeat.
Sure. If you gotta go to the bathroom, go now, because you don't want to miss that. No way.
And then we'll get to some of your comments in tonight's encore, but first let's check out tonight's opening act. So big controversy with Jamie Foxx and Miley Cyrus, underage, sex tapes, Radiohead. What happened? What's the story?
I got the whole story. I'll try to make it brief. Miley Cyrus, big Hannah Montana. For all you people that don't know, she takes the wig off and she's someone different.
Or as I like to say, Hannah Montana.
Montana, man. All you pop stars are cacahuxes. Anyway, she loves Radiohead apparently, which is odd enough. A 16-year-old girl.
I think someone told her, "Hey, like Radiohead."
90s Britpop. Yeah, I don't know, but maybe she does. Anyway, they were backstage at something, and she wanted to meet Radiohead, and they were like, "Channel. We don't care about, meeting her." But they were actually preparing to go on stage, too. It wasn't a good moment. Anyway, she made a big stink about it in the press, and Jamie Foxx is a self-proclaimed black Howard Stern now on the Sirius
He's got his own channel on Sirius.
And he came out and said some really disparaging comments, such as, "Make a sex tape and we'll care about you. Oh, catch gonorrhea off a bicycle seat and maybe people will care." Yeah, she's 16.
Well, sign it or drop it. Him saying that. I say drop it.
I say sign it. You should be able to say anything. Humor being your defense. But my problem is he went on Leno and apologized for it. If you're going to be the black Howard Stern, you don't apologize for things.
Okay, I see what you're saying there, but the fact that she's underage changes the rules. I don't think Howard would say that about her being underage. Now, 18 and above, all bets are off. But I say.
He was out of line, but it doesn't offend me. I thought it was kind of funny. I can see where, you get in trouble, but if you want to call yourself the black Howard Stern, you don't apologize.
Well,
that hurts his credibility as a shock jock.
Well, in his defense, the way they market these kids now, they look over 18.
Oh my God.
So, all right, well, let's check out tonight's headliner. And tonight's headline, of course, brought to you by Teezeria.com. You can order some great T-shirts, custom made. You pick the color, the design, the size, and they send it to you in a pizza box.
That's a spicy meatball.
You pick the design, the color, the size, all that stuff, and if you use the coupon code ROCK, you get
15% off.
15% off, and in these trying times,
sure, 15.
It's a slam dunk.
That's a slam dunk. Not that Jeff knows anything about basketball.
No, I don't. But I do know about our headliner tonight, and we're going to talk about debut albums that could not be topped. These albums that were so huge, the artist could never really go anywhere after.
Yeah, your first album. You start out at the pinnacle of your career on your first record, and there's nowhere to go but down.
There's no build-up. It's like boom, Right. So what do you think? Name some off the top of your head.
Number one, I think that comes to everyone's mind who knows their rock history would be Boston's first album.
That had all the hits you still hear.
It changed everything. 1977, I'm going to say. And just the guitar tones and the way they were layered.
Right.
And, I mean, just full of singles. Chock full of singles. More Than a Feeling. I actually don't know the titles of them. I've heard them all. Taking My Time. I mean, all the good Boston songs were on that album. And then it took them so many years to come out with other albums. I think that hurt them too. Right, yeah, but they never equaled that.
Having a lag time really does hurt you. One more recently, or in the 90s, is Alanis Morrisette, Jagged Little Pill.
Excellent.
It's one of those albums that was huge. She was the biggest music star in the world, literally the world.
I think it sold 20 million copies.
It was something crazy. I think it is the highest selling female debut of all time. And, there's just no way to top it. I mean, she's a very talented, a really hardcore musician, has done great music since, but
after that came Thank You, India.
Yeah, you can't, she thanked everybody in the world, but it was just impossible to top.
You know what's another good one, and we're going to get letters, is Pearl Jam 10.
Yeah.
Huge album. Everybody talked about it. And their other albums, subsequent albums, were pretty good. But never reached the heights that album reached.
Well, they're one of those bands similar like the Black Crowes. Their first album is huge. They've made great music since.
Right.
But they become more of a touring band. They have such a big, loyal following. they can tour
the same
the
2 million people buy the album every time, so they stay on the label.
Right.
But they're never going to sell 12 million.
They don't get to the height they had when the first album came out. You know, I always mention these guys because they're, to me, the only new good rock pop band is Maroon 5. They had a big debut album.
Right.
I don't think they're going to continue to keep it going.
I'm going to fight you on that one because I like that single off their new album. That's their best song.
History will tell. I mean, it hasn't been that long. I mean, history will tell.
Yeah, you know, you guys know what you're doing. Don't just listen to us knuckleheads. Send in your favorite debut albums that can be topped. Jeff, where can they do that?
info@thefrustratedrockstars.com or leave comments at YouTube. We've got some great ones coming up tonight in the encore. But first, let's do some solo riffs. I saw an interview with Lars Ulrich from Metallica the other day, and he has such a great, engaging voice. He should do a character's voice in the next Pixar or Disney cartoon movie. What would he sound like, Justin?
Well, you know, we got to look out for the wood nymphs, you know, the wood nymphs.
Exactly.
Now that we're all downloading albums, I wish we could download like the individual tracks, the guitars, the vocals, so I could hear it a cappella, you know, with the guitar stuff. Not only that, I'd like to be able to download deleted scenes and comments and commentary on all the songs from like the producers and the people that made the music. We got them on DVDs, let's get them on the records. No, hey,
sorry about that.
Yeah, sure. What were you, backstage? That lipstick?
Well, you know, forgot about the encore. You know how it is backstage.
Who are you, Joe Elliott? For God's sakes.
It's our encore time to talk about some of your comments, and we got some great ones from YouTube and emailing us, info@thefrustratedrockstars.com.
Keep those comments coming.
Sure. This is from us Mansica, responding to the rock and roll rites of passage.
I like that word.
We did an episode talking about some albums you listen to, some pivotal albums as you're growing up.
Right. Albums you have to grow up. As part of your childhood, you have to somehow get into this record.
Right. My first real rock and roll album was Nevermind, and I think I should not be ashamed. He knows that we don't really like Nirvana that much.
I mean, Kurt Cobain told you everything in the title. See this album? Nevermind.
That is a great album even now. I agree with him with that.
Sure.
It is a great... as much as we don't like Nirvana getting all this credit for being the defining...
How many times do we have to explain this to people?
I know, but...
It's a good record. It's a really good record.
But for someone who was probably, I don't know, 5 years old, 10 years old when it came out...
I mean, 5.
The album came out almost 20 years ago. You think you're still 20.
No, I don't think I'm still 20, but at 5, you weren't like going out and getting into records.
It's like us listening to Led Zeppelin. We weren't really around.
I wasn't 5.
We weren't around when it. No, but we weren't around when it came out.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
To him, it's like Led Zeppelin.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
so it's like he really wasn't around when it was big, but he's listening to it as it's a pivotal album, which it is. So I think he's right.
But I bet even if we had Dave Grohl here today, he would say that the first Black Sabbath album was better. Led Zeppelin 4 is better. Shout the Devil's better. There's better albums than Nevermind. Now, if that's, you know, but his age difference.
Yeah, you got to consider, like, to him, that's his Shout of the Devil. I mean, he's probably, he was just a couple years old when it came out. He's listening to Nirvana as if we listened to Zeppelin or something
Rush
before we were born.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I think that is a great, at least it's not, you know, Vanilla Ice.
Right.
Or something crazy.
Or Cypress Hill.
Yeah, oh, God. Oh, good call.
Insane in the membrane.
Yeah. So, you no need to be ashamed.
No need to be ashamed. It's in my car. For all you people that write us about the legacy of Nirvana, it's in my car.
Yeah, so thank you so much for commenting, and you can do so too at YouTube or email us info@thefrustratedrockstars.com. Until next time, from the Atlanta Brewing Company in Atlanta, Georgia, home of Red Brick Beer,
enjoy your music. How about Vanilla Ice?
Oh, come on. That's a single.
Well, yeah.
Don't name one other song from that album besides Ice Ice.
Play that funky music to cover.
Yeah, again.